Hi, everyone. Amanda here, and it is day number 9 of our 14-day Anxiety Busters Challenge. I had to think about that for a second because I couldn't quite remember which day I was at. But hello, welcome. Day number 9 is all about what you can control and what you can't control. And often, if we are in the middle of an anxious episode, we want to be able to control everything. We want to be able to know the outcome of everything. We want to know that that there's prescribed set of events that will see us through that will actually happen, right? And that is a big tell, right? So you are in a moment where perhaps even before an anxious moment is happening, if you are kind of experiencing this desire to start to control things, to kind of lessen the ambiguity of life and what's happening around you, then I would suggest you start to take a look, take a few deep breaths, and just pattern interrupts, the ones we've already gone through, and just kind of have a really good look, an internal look at what is driving this need to understand everything and to know what everything is going to be like, to know what's going to happen in the future, because it's a big one. And in hypnotherapy, in psychology, we call it low tolerance of ambiguity, right? So it's not knowing the outcome and not being able to deal with that, right? So that's a really big thing. And an exercise that I do with my clients a lot is one that I'm going to go through with you now. And excuse me while I get my board. Well, I thought I had my board. I'll get a piece of paper. And I'm going to go through with you what happens and I guess a different way of how you can look at what is happening for you. Now, maybe should have got this organized a little bit beforehand, right? This is our first live video, by the way. All right, so some of the things that different ways I go through with clients when they're talking about their low tolerance for ambiguity, they're going, I can't handle this. We go through the scale. Now, I hope you can see that 0% here and 100% over here. And we talk about the scale. Where in the scale of things can you control the outcomes of these events, right? So, for example, if I said to you, what percentage of control do you have over the weather? You would be saying, I have 0 control over the weather, or whether or not it's sunny, right? If I said to you, how much control do you have over whether you get somewhere on time or not, right? Some people, and often the more anxious you are, the more you're leaning towards this 100%. If you said it's 100% my choice whether I get somewhere on time or not, I would kind of say, oh, is it maybe there's traffic, or maybe there's an accident on the road and you don't know about that beforehand. Maybe there's a rainstorm, maybe or unexpected roadworks, those kinds of things. And if you're asking those questions and you're landing in the top 80% all the time, start having a look at where your control is creating more anxious moments. Because in the beginning, controlling the outcome makes perfect sense. It makes total sense, because if we can control the outcome, we don't have anything to get anxious about or worried about, right? But then it starts us off in this cycle that we cannot get off. Okay, well, we can, and I'm showing you how, but it feels like you can't get off it. Okay, so maybe that having to know exactly, or being able to plan, or having to have 0 ambiguity in your life is an indicator, and it makes anxiety worse. Because what happens if you have a beautiful, beautiful moment where you can plan everything, and sometimes it happens and it works perfectly and everything's wonderful and everyone's happy, and you go, oh, wow, it was such a great experience. I did not get anxious or worried or anything like that at all. Wow, that's amazing. I'm going to keep on planning. I'm going to keep on doing all those wonderful, amazing things that made it so easy for me. Great. but life steps in, right? And then when life steps in, all of a sudden you're in a panic because that control is no longer there. So what I suggest, and we've given you lots and lots and lots of tools in these past 9 days, and we'll continue to give you some more tools to interrupt your patterns, to have that change of physiology with your breathing, to let yourself encourage those positive emotions. You've got lots of different aspects and avenues, ways to talk with yourself, different ways to talk with anxiety even, using those tools to interrupt that cycle, because when life happens, because it will and it does, and you cannot avoid life happening, my friends. I wish we could make everything, wave a magic wand and make everything perfect. It doesn't happen, right? So when you notice the control freak thing starting to happen, it's a precursor, it's a sign, it's one of the ways we do anxiety. So my friends, second you notice that controlling kind of thing starting to happen, maybe you notice it with your kids. I was cooking with my daughter on the weekend, and oh my goodness me, I was like, and then I caught myself feeling like, it's just a bit of mess. It doesn't really matter. Afterwards, that was my point of view. But during it, I was like trying to control the outcome, right? Not allowing her to be and have a learning experience and figure out how to do things. There was me kind of control. The second I realized that, I thought, hang on a minute, maybe there is something else underneath that. And there was. So a few deep breaths, big, deep belly breaths, getting your rest and repair, your parasympathetic nervous system happening again. As soon as I did that, I realized what was underneath. Oh, okay, I'm actually kind of worried about something else, completely not related, but it's coming out as a desire to control my environment, because then at least that bit is safe and I can be comfortable in that. Yeah. So the second you notice that, take a deep breath, start using your patterns, interrupt, concentrate on the positive feeling, find out what's underneath, because there's generally something underneath. Let yourself figure out how you're doing anxiety and nip it in the bud before it happens. All right, so another good exercise that I'm going to give you now, my friends, as homework, and there will be in your email a lovely way of that for you can do this, is an exercise that I do with my kids in Anxiety Busters, but it works for adults too, right? Just draw a circle or use the sheet that I've attached to your email, right? And in the circle, you write the things I can control. And you might put in here, I don't know, how kind you are to yourself, how kind you are to others. You might put in, I don't know, what time you wake up in the morning. You might put in all kinds of things, right? All these things in here. And I tell you what, if it's anything about what other people think or do or say or anything like that, then I'm telling you, this belongs out here. And if it's got everything to do with you, then generally it's in here. All right. So outside is things you can't control, and inside is things you can control. You can do this yourself, or you can use the graphic that I have attached to your email. All right, that's it from me today. Thank you so much. Today was an experiment. It's a live video, so I thought we might be able to give that a go, see how we go with that. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any feedback at all, you're welcome to give me a message in reply to my email. I will get that one if you reply to that. And yeah, enjoy your day. Have a great day. Tomorrow is all about being out and being connected. And we're going to be talking about being connected socially, but also connected to ourselves and to nature and the rest of it. And I'm going to give you a nice way to cultivate that connection. All right. Enjoy your day. I'll see you later. Bye.